Hello, YouTube. October 24th, 2019, and we're here to go on ahead and discuss Miss Tank Honey. So Tank, as y'all know, is a renowned R&B singer, been around for some time. Ain't nobody's been really studying the music though. But he's made some leeway in the streets and not on no good note. So he was on a podcast with Angela Yee, right? And Angela brought up the subject about if a man sucks dick twice, does that make him homophobic? I mean, Lord Jesus, why I say homophobic? Does that make him gay? And Tank said no. And so Twitter took it and ran with it as if he came up with the subject, as if he proposed it. Now, mind you, Tank is happily married to a woman, and we've never heard of Tank being in any same sex, relationship. But people are so vested when it comes to celebrities and anything mentionable like this, where now it's become a whole hoopla. And it's like for people who claim that they don't give a damn whether what somebody does or not, or y'all show is fully vested. So Twitter called themselves dragging them this, that, and the third. So what is my actual thoughts on this subject? If a man sucks dick twice, does that necessarily make him gay? I would say no. I would be in agreement with him. And here's why. Because I noticed that number one, that there's a double standard when it comes to females, and we need to address this first about, having that same energy per se when it comes to the female perspective. Because how come women can be encouraged to be in full on lesbian relationships and can be in committed relationships for years, and then they can go back to a man and it's like they can say that was a phase? Because this week alone we actually had Pam from Toto is going at it with her former husband, who is now married to Satoria Brown. Satoria Brown is the Latina looking light skinned black chick that was in jail for 16 years. She murdered somebody in self-defense when she was young. She was forced into child trafficking. She was a lady of the evening by no choice of being, a young, light skinned black woman in an impoverished condition. She had a pimp, and she knew she had to bring something back to the pimp to satisfy him, but she felt an uneasiness about this particular client, and it led to her having to shoot him. They end up giving her life. It since got overturned. Kim Kardashian, everybody jumped on it and, got her out of prison. Now she's with this guy who used to be in the industry himself and has long since gotten out the industry. Has used to be married to Pam from Toto, and that whole debacle is going down. But he mentioned about how she was a lesbian because she engaged in lesbian acts years ago, and she actually admitted that she used to be a lesbian back. And well, she said she used to hook up with a woman, but it was a one time thing. But and when I say one time thing, it wasn't the encounter was one time. She was actually, for a brief period of her time, actually in a relationship with this woman. So it was ongoing, but she has since said she's been delivered. She no longer engages in the lesbian lifestyle, and she only dates men. And these same people had nothing to say about that though. So I'm just finding the hypocrisy. So this is only for the people who did not have shit to say about darn Pam admitting that she did actually indeed engage with a woman back in the day. It wasn't to the extent of which her former husband, was trying to portray it, like she was still a lesbian now and she fully lives the lesbian lifestyle. But she did indeed have one lesbian encounter. And by this same logic that y'all's trying to put on Tank, I'm trying to figure out how in the hell is Pam getting, seen as a straight woman. Y'all would now say that, oh, well, that was a brief period in her darn on time period. But Tank has not even engaged in this act. This situation was brought on to him by way of Angela Yee bringing it up. He just responded. And he said if a man sucks dick twice, that means he's gay. So just based off him saying that, not saying that he did that. Because his first reaction was like, okay, why in the hell is this bitch bringing this shit up? Like he was darn gone literally thrown off, like he was not prepared for that question at all. But y'all trying to make it seem like this was already pre-written for him to darn gone ask this question. He was going to be asked this question. Like it was nothing about that conversation that even warrants such a question being asked from what I'm seeing. But just because of that response, people are labeling Tank. Now, of course, I understand that he also is an advocate for the LGBTQ community, and he does do a lot of paid events at gay functions. He also goes to LGBT prides and all this, that, and the third. But you do not have to be gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, gender non-binary to actually participate in LGBT functions. I don't know why people think about that. But you do not actually have to be gay to get a coin for the. I mean, some of your most popular celebrities actually have a dominant LGBT fan base. The top is people in the game. Just to get on this soapbox real quick, I'm going to take a note out of James Caldwell book. Shout out for the terminology soapbox. But Beyonce, you got the Beehive. You got Rihanna, you got the Navy. You got Lady Gaga, you got the Monsters. You got Nicki Minaj, you got the Barbies, and then you got the darn you got an endless supply of lamb chops when the darn gone lambs come bad at your ass, man, honey. You got the lamb chops. Now I don't know why she didn't call them the butterflies or whatever. For whatever reason, she decided to call them the lambs. I guess because they always darn gone bad. But as soon as somebody go to bite their ass, they darn gonna fall the foot back. They all darn gone bad, but darn gone just as soft as darn gone cottony wool. Darn gone let me shut up before the darn gone lambs come bang my way on my darn gone comment section. But yeah, dominantly a gay fan base, all this, that, and the third. Found that funny though, that people are always throwing, shade LGBT way and stuff. When some of your darn on top artists in the game actually have LGBT supporters. But Tank, he goes to the LGBT functions, and now y'all calling them all types of queens, this, that, and the third. Now Angela done made it worse by putting this question on him, and he done went and said if you sucked the dick twice, it doesn't make you gay. If you found out that's not necessarily your darn on forte, he wasn't able to do it just as good as the girl. You still know, yeah, eventually I can't get past your darn on aesthetic. I like me some breasts. I like me some tatas, honey. I like me some darn on, estrogen. You still give too much chromosome, XY chromosome teens. Your voice is deeper than mine. You on the darn on knob sounding like Barry White, honey. You up on the darn on knob giving darn on like your voice darn gone going into the first octave, honey. I can't even go into the darn gone first octave. Because I think I think the lowest note Tank can do is what a F2 note. You got somebody up on the nod that can go down to a C1 flat. That ain't cute. You got more hair on your chest than Tank do. That ain't cute. That's not his particular cup of tea. But he said if somebody does it twice, and they experimented, that don't make them gay. And I'm saying, well, how come that same energy is never applied to the women? Now, when it comes to love and hip hop, we done seen that Fizz done have been with Monique Slaughter, and then most recently, Amarion's baby mama, April. And both of them done left his ass for a woman. And it's like, damn, Fizz, I used to have the hugest crush on you. Like, what's going on with the dick game where you darn gonna got the women darn gonna run into the darn gonna click, honey? Like I said, honey, we welcome all the LGBTs over here, honey. We don't do no separation over here. It ain't no separation, toleration in this destiny. We don't do none of that homophobia. Homophobia. Honey, we don't do none of that over here. However, I'm trying to, like, damn, not one, but two. Two done left that good old sucker because he got a nice doggone schlong on him. But it's like, you done got two doggone women that went to the click clack and left you and all that doggone package that you got going on wrapped up in a tiny box. Honey, he makes up for it in other areas, but it's like, honey, I don't know what's going on. Fizz doggone got the girls going to the girls, honey. Usually when they say my girl got a girl, they don't mean that your girl done went and got a girl and done left you out the damn equation, bitch. But soon as they find a man again, wouldn't nobody ever say nothing about Monique Slaughter. Wouldn't nobody ever say nothing about April and say, well, they been with a woman before, so they always gonna be bisexual, they always gonna be a lesbian. How come these women are able to actually go in full on lesbian relationships? We've heard Pam from Total say that she was in a brief lesbian relationship. Not no 1 or 2 time hookup, but a ongoing multiple consensual relationship with another woman. We now hear April talking about she's in a relationship with a woman. We've heard Monique Slaughter talk about she's in a relationship with a woman. We've heard darn on Mimi. Hell, she done got so sick of Stevie J. She done went and not only got a woman, but she got a good old stud, honey. In the hood we call it the D word, but I ain't trying to get flagged on YouTube, honey. But yeah, she done went from stud to stud to stud to stud again, honey, on Darn Love and Hip Hop Miami, since being turned out by Jocelyn Hernandez, aka the Puerto Rican Princess, baby. Now she's the only one who just comes out and fully says she's bisexual. But Darn Mimi Falls, honey, she claiming that she's a full blown lesbian now. But if she was to get so called get back with a man and say that was a brief period of time of her life, y'all would let her slide with that bullshit. So I'm trying to figure out how come this shit is able to slide time and time and time again with women who are actually in ongoing lesbian relationships, and even ones who have perpetuated coming onto the scene as a lesbian. Like lesbians and bisexual women are so popularized, and the menage a trois, the rappers actually encourage it with lesbians. So not only is there a double standard, but you actually go as far as to promote lesbian and bisexual women. But then y'all want the darn gonna get on men though. And I'm trying to figure like why it's generally confusing to me. It's generally confusing to me how lesbians and bisexual women are actually encouraged, where we actually rapping about menage a trois and T.I. and T.I. and Toya. I mean not T.I. and Toya, but T.I. and Tiny is actually engaging in, menage a trois with women. Toya, I was thinking of because Toya, I think I've heard about her and Lil Wayne doing the same thing. And Kaya was brought into that, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. Kaya was in a menage a trois with somebody in the past. She was in a menage a trois with one of them. It definitely wasn't doggone Trina because she has a show enough hatred for Trina for whatever reason. But yeah, I want to say Toya as well. And the list just goes on and on of all these women who have either been in menage a trois. Same thing with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith with the open relationships. I mean, there's just so many examples I can think off the top of my head. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, and then to go back to people who said that they were never lesbians, but they came in giving the innuendo that they were bisexual. Because I remember when Nicki Minaj came onto the scene, she claimed that she was a bisexual woman. But now she's darn on claiming that she's never been with a woman. And then went as far as to try to backpedal and throw Bible verses and talking about why she didn't support. And y'all know I really had to get up on Nicki Minaj ass because it's like, bitch, you done came into this game trying to pretend to be a bisexual woman. Your majority of your darn on fan base is the darn on gay hood queens, honey. And then when a massacre happens to in a nightclub where most of them was probably bumping to your song before they was killed, you can't even so much as send out a darn on tweet, but you're gonna send out a tweet and message and sympathy towards a gorilla, but you can't even respond to actual human beings who actually darn gonna put money in your pocket that makes it where you can even be in a position where you at now. It's like your wigs were first done by a gay queen. Your makeup was beat by a darn on gay queen. Your fan base is over 50% of the gay queens, honey. So once again, all this darn on hypocrisy with the straight community, when it's like you can get the gay dollars, but then you want to flip flop and say, well, the Bible says this, that. Bitch, you wasn't darn on talking about the Bible when we had that 10 pounds of makeup on your face. Doesn't the Bible speaks about darn on a false enhancement of your beauty, over enhancing your beauty. You wasn't talking about the Bible when you got that silicone injected up your ass. You wasn't talking about that Bible when you had them darn on 42 darn on Skittle flavor wigs up on your motherfucking head. You wasn't talking about the Bible when you was trying to embody the darn persona of Little Kim, honey, the original darn Queen Bee, B-E-E, honey. You see how people be selective with these motherfucking Bible verses? You wasn't darn talking about the Bible when you came on under the guise of being a bisexual woman. Now, Lady Gaga ain't never been this controversial. Like, Lady Gaga's always been a consistent supporter in all this, but even she came in under the guise of being a bisexual woman. And Katy Perry came in with the very first hit song talking about I Kissed a Girl, and I liked it. It tastes like chocolate, dun, 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 dun. I kissed a girl, I liked it. It tastes like chocolate. And then come out all these years later talking about you never kissed a girl. You did it for the marketing of it. But the fact that it was acceptable for you to pretend to either be a lesbian or a bisexual, and it was received to be a hit of yours and propelled your career. So in this case, it don't matter whether you're black or white. It don't matter whether you're black or white. Do 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 do. Honey, don't matter whether you black or white, honey. Because we got Nicki Minaj, we got learn on um several others up in there. The new crowd as well. I don't never hear this shit with the women. But to get back on Tank, you see, y'all thought we darn gonna just went on a lesbian tirade, but this all ties in with Tank, honey. Now Tank just said if a man sucks dick twice or gets his dick sucked twice, does that make him gay? Does that make him gay if he actually just had two random encounters? Two random encounters, it can have been 15, 20, 25 years ago. Y'all still going to hold that two incidents against him? So people are no longer allowed to come into themselves and see what they want. Because here's another scenario when it comes to people who try to convert the gays back to the straight life. Because honey, now I can't speak for the gays no more. I've always known since I was a little girl, I was into my womanhood. It just took, some time for me to realize that. But for my gays out there, for y'all that always get the question in regards to, oh, well, how do you know that you're not really straight if you haven't tried a woman or whatever? And it's like, well, hell, look at all these motherfucking doggone butch queens that these girls are sleeping with, and they bitching and complaining about their man always going out with another man, where they find out that their man was really a butch queen, honey. That they was a trade, that they was, a hunk, a bear, especially the twinks, honey. Like I got a whole darn on YouTube video breaking down. Matter of fact, I never did that video. Maybe I should do that video. Should I go ahead and do the male video equivalent of all the different types of male gays? Because many years ago I actually broke down the different types of feminine, LGBTs as far as in the gay community, the femme queens, the drag queens, all of that. I broke down the butch queen and all that, but I never really gotten into the different types of, categories when it comes to the masculine gay equivalent to the community, the ones that are the ones hooking up with the women and actually having this lifestyle of, being a straight male, but really they enjoy being with a male, but for, appearance purposes, they have to, pretend to be straight. And it's like, if you really didn't care whether somebody was gay or straight anyway, why do you put these darn masculine gays in this predicament where they feel like they have to even go that route? Because if you really wasn't homophobic, and we're going to get into that term anyways, because I see a lot of people trying to spin a narrative that there is no such thing as homophobia because people don't have a fear of gays. We about to darn debunk that shit once again. I keep telling y'all about people who try to play on semantics, but we're going to get into that in a moment. But once again, though, See, I done lost my train of thought just that fast. What was I just talking about? It's so much going on up in here, y'all. But like I said, it's just a mess when it comes to these double standards, when it comes to what I just love to know y'all thoughts on this. What are y'all thoughts about Tank and saying that if a man sucks dick twice, that makes him gay? I mean, it does not make him gay. But women are never being presented that question, even though we've seen numerous women every time, y'all. Okay, see, that's what threw me off. I knew that the phone. It's weird that I can get a sense of when an interruption is about to happen. Y'all know when I just cut off in mid sentence. I never hardly get through a video without the phone ringing, a knock at the door, or a knock at the window, and I'm always able to sense when one of those are about to come up. So yeah, showing up the fashion, the phone call happened. But back on to the topic. Why is there a double standard? Why is women able to actually be in consensual relationships with women? How come women can be in menage a trois when it comes to their men? How come when in the music industry it's actually encouraged to the point where you can brag about your girl has a girl and you engage in the menage a trois acts? How come women are able to propel their careers off of under the guise of being a bisexual or a lesbian? But if a guy even so much is hinted at being a little bit sweet honey in this day and age, it's seen as the end of the world, even if you do not have any sort of concrete proof that they are actually in a relationship. And this has been happening time and time and time again, just based off of the appearance of modern day darn gone guys. And I'm saying modern for a reason because I'm noticing that there's even a double standard when it comes to millennials and Gen Zs versus the Gen Xs. Because y'all talking about men walking around here with skinny jeans on, and that automatically makes them gay. So once again, we now putting gender roles on clothes and shit again. If a man is so much as caught wearing pink, he's gay. That's why y'all was darn on giving Diddy the blues because he likes to keep his nails and stuff done. He's not walking around here with his toes looking like Flavorflame. Honey, that's not the flavor nobody wants to damn see. Darn on toes looking like darn on Smeagol off of darn on the Hobbit bitch. Ain't nobody looking like your toe. Ain't nobody wanting to see look down and see them toes looking like Darby is free. Honey, nobody wants to see no darn gone slave elf goblin darn gone dwarf like looking feet. No God, honey. Darn on toes look like you was marching alongside darn on Edmund Tubman and you survived this long. You the oldest person in the world. You done wade in the water for over 100 some years. Way in the water. Way in the water. Honey, don't nobody want to look down at your toes and your toes look like they can sing the whole Negro spiritual from the first hand experience, bitch. No, that is not the business. Just because darn on a guy likes to be well put together and have a nice polished coat on his nails. Now when I say a polished coat of nails, now I ain't talking about that A1 shit. Now, when you start putting the different rainbow nails and shit on, but as far as a clear coat and just keeping your hygiene up, a man getting a facial, get your mind out the gutter. I'm a licensed medical esthetician, y'all. Because I know it's going to be one, and I have to always point out that disclaimer because when we talk about subjects like this, people always want to go to the left on stuff. So I have to shut a lot of stuff down before it even darn on spreads legs. But when a man gets a facial, as in effleurage, pesticide, tapotment, friction, baby, when he gets that type of facial going on, y'all want to say, "Oh, honey, he's one of the queens, honey." So y'all want an old musty looking funky dude? Like I get sick of this doggone promotion of overly Afro masculine guys. Like why do a man got to look like he come from the doggone roof? The doggone be a straight, an undeniably straight male. Like he got to look like he smoke a pack of cigarettes and his face is doggone not the best in the world. Got a little bit of doggone you know comedones on the darn surface of the skin, got enlarged pores, skin's all oily. We can't get a good old enzyme facial work, and we can't perform a little bit of extractions because just off the implication of you going to the spa is seen as, oh, he might be a little bit of sweet low. And this is why I said that this is a double standard with the doggone modern day generation of men in this era. Because we talk about men who, get their nails done and just have a clear coat, or go get a facial, or, get their eyebrows a little bit touched up. Not, arched or anything, but, just well maintained and groomed. Go get their teeth done. They ain't got all that darn on choppy silver and gold in their mouth. They actually got some good veneers in their mouth. Honey, something that I aspire to, honey. Something I aspire to. Honey, but right now I just don't smile that often, honey. So with that being said, it's all these double standards along with the millenniums versus Gen Xers, but we act like y'all didn't have Prince. Because everybody know Prince T was openly bisexual. Like y'all can't tell me. Like it's been darn on known that Prince was a bisexual man. But even with that being said, all the women still darn gonna look at him as a straight man. Even though he can dance in sits and chills, slay the catwalk like nobody business. Hot damn. Honey, he can twirl in the heels, wear assless chaps, have the foundation on, have the blush, have the lip gloss. Lip gloss was popping before little mama was born, baby. Purple rain, purple rain. And don't nobody, honey, say something about darn on Prince. The darn on Gen X women would darn on be ready to snatch you on down talking about Prince. But Prince darn on had his makeup blended better than some of y'all whores. But y'all don't say nothing about that. Nobody don't say nothing about them flashy suits of the Jackson 5s and the other ones, the Psychic Funky Deadly, the Icy Haze, and all of them, where they had the glittery doggone suits that was just as colorful as Diana Ross, just as colorful as Patti LaBelle, just as fluffy as doggone Aunt Riri, baby. Respect. Honey, you had some of the darn on girls had the fashion putting respect on the name before darn on Birdman was even a motherfucking option. Y'all darn on talking about Birdman and little Wayne up in a relationship, but bitch, ain't nobody was darn on even clocking the ones who done came out today. Who was the artist that was talking about all the people, Richard Pryor and shit? Richard Pryor was darn on getting it in left and right. Honey, no, wasn't nobody talking about darn on Richard Pryor. Wasn't nobody talking about motherfucking Luther Vandross. So I noticed that there's a double standard even with amongst the different generations. Because y'all don't even hold your own generations account. Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of darn on double standards all over the place. Y'all don't never say nothing about the crop tops that was popular back in the motherfucking 70s, 80s. Y'all always talking about, oh, these guys today all with the skinny jeans and the pink shirts, but y'all motherfuckers are known for wearing the darn on Beyonce shorts before Beyonce was even put on. Beyonce was born in 1981, and some of y'all was wearing that darn on same crop top darn on pants design, darn on coochie crotch cutters, aka ball snatchers, way back in motherfucking 1972, bitch. 9 years before Beyonce was even born? I wait. I wait. Y'all don't got nothing to say though. And once again, we done already talked about the double standards with women, and the fact that nobody even talks about how not only women get a pass on this, but it's actually encouraged. But if a man sucks dick twice, he's automatically gay. And then let's go into this final, segment of, the double standards with this shit. Because then y'all will say, I mean, let me get a sip of water on this because I'm about to go into another tangent for this second part of this hour video. Cause I already know this shit about to be an hour long. So the second thing to this motherfucker shit, y'all would then go as far as to say that calling this out is not a phobia. I told y'all we was going to circle back on this phobia shit. And y'all would say, well, a phobia is a fear. Yeah, if you go into the dictionary, open up Merriam-Webster's, open up Oxford, open up Google search, open up Bing, open up Yahoo, and tell me what are the multiple definitions of phobia. Because a lot of people like to play semantics and say, especially people in the realms of trying to look at psychiatry and just look at what's the book that y'all psychiatrists look at? I think it's called the DDSM or something of that sorts. Y'all know I'm not in that realm, so y'all correct me on what the official book is. But I know from actually doing authentic research that number one, a word can have multiple meanings. It can be multifaceted. And you have to pay attention to the context of which that word is being applied to know which type of definition to put on to people. Because if you look at what homophobia or transphobia means, it also means to have a aversion to something. It means to also have a disdain or an extreme irrational hatred to something. So now knowing the tertiary, definitions of what it means to be homophobic and what it means to be transphobic, doesn't it imply that when somebody is making a hoopah out of what Tank said, even though Tank is a married darn on man and whether he gets his dick sucked by a man or not, it is not pertaining to you? It's like you was not married to him, but you are so vested that y'all are making these long Twitter rants. It's like if y'all don't care for somebody, why even make a darn on situation out of it? Because like I said, wasn't nobody really checking for Tank anyways. None of y'all who was critiquing him talk about y'all wasn't even looking for it, but y'all darn on speaking upon somebody. When it comes to people that I don't care for, notice I don't make no videos about it. Honey, y'all won't catch me up on this motherfucker talking unless it really is something astronomical where I have to make a video. Like when it comes to like the Jeffree Stars and all that, honey, I don't speak on that. When it comes to, colorist people like Kodak Black, I don't speak on it unless it's within a confines of a subject where I need to bring it up. But as far as targeting a specific person, it's like it's not warranted because I don't really care to even bring that up. It's like I don't know this person, I don't care to know them. I ain't never brought their motherfucking music, so it ain't in no fan lost them over here. It's like they could care less, especially if you ain't putting no money in their motherfucking pocket. And half of y'all ain't putting no money in motherfucking Tank pocket for him to really darn gonna give a damn. That's why it would actually behoove him to double down on his LGBT support because a majority of his fan base is the LGBTQ community, and that's where it's really at when it comes to the money, honey. As far as the undeniable support, y'all motherfuckers, but that's a whole nother subject about y'all motherfuckers don't even really support your artists, and you wonder why darn on people like Adele and Sam Smith is making more money in the little bit of black darn on genres we have left because we really invented all the motherfucking genres, but the bitches done took all of them, and y'all know who I'm talking about when I say the bitches. But and this is no shade to my non-racist ones. It just is what it is, honey. So if it don't apply, let it fly. But y'all darn gonna bitching and complaining about motherfuckers darn gonna appropriating cultures and shit. Y'all don't even go and support the artists. Y'all darn gonna be still looking for the bootlegged CD man in 2019. Y'all darn gonna got 10 people sharing one Spotify and darn gonna account. Y'all always perpetually getting all them endless emails to take advantage of darn on title. Hell, I would too on title because I saw Jay-Z, you no longer a dominant owner. You over here still portraying like you darn gone majority black owner with about 5% stake in darn on title. Really? But that's neither here nor there. We've already addressed that darn on hypocrisy with Mr. Darn on Camel's cigarette representative darn on logo, honey. Sorry, B, but it is what it is. But yeah, when it comes to that though, just a whole hot mess. Only thing he said is the man sucked dick. If the man sucked dick twice, does that make him? If a darn gone gay queen goes and darn gone gets coochie twice, does that make the gay queen straight? That's my question. Obviously it doesn't, because we have a lot of darn gone butch queens and stuff darn gone getting cooch about every other night, done had multiple children, and they still know what they really want. So why in the hell, if a man who has honestly tried dick twice and found out that it's not his flavor, how come he's forever damned and condemned? But if a gay queen admits that he had one slice of darn gone banana pudding in his life, a sugar bowl, a peach cobbler, whatever you prefer to call it down there. The Skittles in the middle, yeah, yeah, yeah. If he doggone went down on the Skittles one good time, honey, and found out though he prefers his own Skittles instead, does that make him bisexual? Does that make him straight? Really? So why would it make the darn gone men who've only had dick twice darn gone fully gay? Now you can say that they bi curious, that they have more of an easy propensity to be swayed. You know, it will be a higher chance if a guy was to flirt with them. It's a higher probability. However, if they fully know that they mostly like women and that they've only tried a guy 1, 2 times, why isn't they given the same fortitude as women? And now, as far as my people who are consistent across the board, obviously this does not apply to you, because I know somebody's going to be smart in the comment section and say, well, I hold all of them accountable. So to my Bible thumpers who thinks everybody at the LGBTQ is an abomination, honey, go bless yourself, honey. Now, okay, at least I can respect your consistency. So this does not go out to my church queens who condemns everybody universally. This does not go out to my people who just have a phobia of everybody. At least I can respect that you darn gone is consistent with your darn gone bigotry, honey. So it is what it is. And another thing, how come you're so much in your feelings when people call you out on your bigotry? Because that's what it is. Because once again, ain't nobody inviting your darn gone cobweb coochie having ass up in the motherfucking bedroom. Ain't nobody worried about you. I think the reason why some people be really vested in their feelings and shit is because in these scenarios, ain't nobody was ever checking for them. Even when it comes to these lesbians, ain't nobody ever looked at you. When it comes to these men talking about this subject, honey, ain't nobody was looking at your ass. So I'm wondering why you feel like it's a personal attack on your image any damn way. Because some of y'all be looking like honey, ain't nobody trying to darn go. It ain't in too many women. If Flavorflame didn't have that money, honey, it wouldn't be too many women trying to go after Flavorflame, bitch. Cause I'm like I said, that darn on 12-inch dick they keep talking about he having ain't nothing. It's like, bitch, you might as well go fuck a donkey. Yeah, you're already over here engaging in some sort of necrophilia activity. Is it still called necrophilia when it's a darn gone gargoyle? Like, I don't know what's it called when you fuck a different species altogether. Like, is that still a form of bestiality, or since it's a part of the undead, honey? Because Flavor Flav be looking like something out of the darn gone underworld, bitch. I don't know whether to call fucking him darn gone necrophilia or bestiality, or is it a hybrid of both? Is it darn on necrobestiality? Like, do we have to come up with a new terminology for people who fuck Flavor Flav? But some of y'all motherfuckers who darn on is talking about this shit be looking not too far removed from darn on Flavor Flav up in the motherfucking face. And then y'all want to make darn on all types of commentary talking about you would never darn gonna be put it. Bitch, who's even asking you? Once again, y'all be taking these celebrities darn on circumstances as if somebody darn gonna try to darn gonna fly your motherfucking ass out, bitch. You can't even get darn on Quisha down the motherfucking street. The darn gonna bob up on your darn gonna knob, honey. Look long worry about somebody such as Tank Caliber trying to darn gonna look at you any type of way. So some of y'all be up on these darn on YouTube streets really darn on spreading y'all venom where it don't even need to be, because it's like, honey, wouldn't nobody even be searching for y'all anyways, for y'all to even worry about that situation. And once again, no means no anyways. If somebody was to present you with that type scenario, because let's say if a man flirted with another man and that man is not interested, you just simply say no and keep it moving. If a woman is interested in a woman and that woman is not interested and say she's straight, keep it moving. It's the same thing with, straight cup. If you're not interested in somebody, keep it moving. But why we always so invested in what somebody else is doing and claim that we really not worried about what anybody in the LGBTQ community doing, but we feel the need to do commentaries and breakdowns of this type of shit. If you're not really invested, if you really do not have a natural aversion to LGBT people, because once again, to bring up the tertiary definitions of what it means to be phobic, it means to have a natural disdain and or aversion to said people. It means to also have a fear, but it does not mean that you have to solely have a fear or a fear at all. You can have a natural hatred and still be homophobic. You can still be transphobic. But people want to darn going take one section of a definition and run with it. And then when people bring up the tertiary definitions of what it means to be phobic, all of a sudden, crickets. But those are my thoughts on that, y'all. The hypocrisy of this darn scenario. So this really sparked the conversation of the day, and I think it's warranted. And I know I'm getting more consistent with these 40-some minute videos. I think this is just going to be the new setup from now on, that we just going to start doing the long videos similar to the Scorpion Show, because it makes for good conversation to actually go into further details and expand on the actual subject matter. Like, instead of just homing in on Tank and just worried about what he's doing, honey, I don't know Tank. I can't tell you 3 darn on Tank songs. And Tank might not. I'm actually cute, bitch, but I don't think Tank about to fly my darn ass out. So it's like, and nor am I a person that's home. It's a home wrecker either. But it's like, once again, when it comes to people's personal relationships, why do we get so invested and have to make all these darn breakdowns of who somebody is? Like, who cares if the man was bisexual? Who gives a damn? Y'all keep saying y'all don't give a motherfucker damn, but y'all keep darn on spewing, discussing all this, that, and the motherfucker third. But then we go and look into what you got darn on going on. Your darn on cobweb cooch ain't been touched on in darn on years, honey. Darn on tapioca pudding darn on dried up down there, honey. Darn on dried up like darn on powder milk. Bitch, sit down and have several seats. You only darn gonna get moisturized down there by darn gone Day Day down the darn gone street, honey, who looks darn gone like Coolio. Bitch, you wish a darn gone Tank would darn gonna come your way, bitch. But I ain't gonna get into that darn gone reading of some of these motherfuckers, because I just took the time to look at Twitter, some of these people making all these comments, and I'm just like, really? You had the audacity to comment? Honey, you look like the type where somebody put a bag over your motherfucking face. And the gag is, if I keep popping voice, I'm not just talking about the women. That shit goes both ways. Some of y'all guys, like I said, y'all look at mighty like a goblin up in a place like Flavorflame, which is not the flavor of any day of the motherfucker week. Somebody had to put a darn bag over your face, engaging in that darn hybrid of necrophilia and bestiality. Fucking long dick goblins down near the motherfucking hood, honey, a Peach Street and shit. But y'all talking about doggone whether Tank is a peach or not, if he's one of the peach holders. If he was, and we know, and give my personal opinion, I do think Tank is part of the doggone team to a certain extent. And we actually welcome everybody over here. We recognize Miss Tank, but we doggone make good fun of Miss Tank over here, and all the good jests. We don't wish nothing but the success for Tank and all his darn on the devils. His love life, his darn music career. Now, I personally ain't supporting music. It ain't my darn cup of tea. I actually like a little bit more of a bump up tempo type music, and he just doesn't give that for me. But I still wish him much success as a fellow black person, as a fellow LGBT person in all his endeavors that he does. I don't believe in, perpetuating negativity on people. People that I view negatively, I just don't give no energy to at all. I just darn pay them dust. I don't darn breathe energy into darn and I don't have time to, soul and hatred towards somebody who is darn tax brackets above me and don't give a damn what I would have to say. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, once again, I want to know y'all thoughts. If a man sucks dick twice and decided he did not like it, does that make him gay? Um, and also the second question we're gonna put is how come there is a double standard where women can be in relationships, and if they find a guy later on, they lesbian lifestyle was seen as a phase, i.e., Pam from Toto, i.e., you know, Mimi from Love and Hip Hop, and several others. How come it's been seen as a phase when it comes to women, but it's seen as a permanent disdain when it's a guy? And third, if I find out the third and fourth question. Like they would be in the comment section below. I would pin it to the top. The question is the answer, and I would love to know y'all general thoughts on this whole situation in general. So feel free to like or thumbs down. We equal over here, so we keep the likes and stuff up on the polarizing subject. So if y'all feel like y'all didn't dislike, still give me y'all opinions on why. Share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.